Hello everybody, my name is Samir, welcome to KamenRider Blackman, and right now I am going to review Kamen Rider Zi-O, episode 8, so let's get into it. From the last episode, Tsukumi is still out cold due to another wizard, and I'm gonna make this brief right now. This episode is fine, but the first half of this episode, what brings it down for me is Gates, because he's hard-headed, stubborn, and he's too straight to the point. Where to Sogo, he takes the time to actually look at the layers a bit. But yeah, before I go any further from there, I'll say this. Just pretty much that. Gates is just pretty stubborn. And he really hasn't done anything to make himself likable at all. But so far. Well, now that I got that out of the way, one thing I will... Oh yeah, and also that Gates just wants to ignore the layers and leave personal matters out of this so that they can just get straight to the point. Now I can finally say what I wanted to say. We know who's the one with the 2 ride watches, and yeah, it's Yeah, it's Kyosuke, Kamen Rider Beast. I will say this though, he's back in this episode, but his cameo is pretty brief, so he doesn't have a lot of time to be, well, how we know, his usual self from when he was in Wizard. So, and we'll get back to that later, right? For right now. So Sogo, because right now Sogo visits Hayase's comrade, the magician that he assaulted in the hospital, to learn more about Hayase, and is just as shocked. But the other magician still hasn't told the theater manager yet, because he doesn't want her to worry. And that's going to change very soon, because for right now, Woe shows up and confirms that he does have a history with Gates. Do we know anything about it right now? No. But we will learn about it later. But right now, it's just confirmed. And I wonder where they do take it off to. Ugh. But anywho, before I lose any thought of mind, now we can flip back to Gates and where he's found Kyosuke, to where this part of the episode's actually interesting, because they now realize that without the... How do I describe this? Okay, here's how. The ride watches are the Ranger keys of Kamen Rider. Like, the ride watches, like, each previous rider's powers are tied to the ride watches, because that's the source of their powers. But also, as we've all seen before, it takes away their memories of being riders. And this episode acknowledges that, and we see it with Beast. And now, back to Hayase, we see him go on a bit of a rampage and actually attack the theater manager's daughter. This is the part that's a bit confusing, because last episode he liked her, but now he's trying to assault her. So, like, you're not helping yourself. You're not helping. It's like you're not helping yourself get the girl. You're just You're throwing a tantrum, dude. And it gets even more confusing when he starts attacking and saying more out of context. Yeah, yeah. Anywho, so yeah, back to knowing that when a rider loses their powers, they also lose their memories. They now go and beckon help for it. Mr. Piccolo, help!
坊主、いるんでしょ?
Yeah, Sogo, I get what you're thinking, but unless you're about to do a form change, I don't think that's happening.
やれやれ。私も便利に使われるようになってしまったな。
I'm sorry. Before I was just confused and a little just how on that, but looking back on this clip a couple of times, I just find it hilarious. But still, just what the full hell? Like, he came from upstairs and they are downstairs. The entrance is downstairs. What was he doing up there? Did he break in through a window or something? Like, this is not out of the ordinary. If you accepted it at this point, good for you. But still, he just broke in somewhere. Like, how? That's just, I don't know. I don't know why I find it funny now. It's stalking. Anywho, shocked by Wozo's appearance, Gates uses Sogo uses Gates' words against him, and frankly, I like that. Frankly, looking back on this scene, I like it too because Sogo sounds like such a smart ass.
坊主の協力を受けるつもりか。ここに来る前、二人に何があったかは知らない。でも、個人的な問題なんかどうでもいい。って言ったのはゲイツでしょ?
Fine. Do you even know what you're doing? I don't need to. I'm kidding.
And now that Sogo used Gates' own words against him for gotta get the job done, right? They are now informed of when riders lose their memories due to, what I just explained, their powers being extracted and formed into ride watches, all that. So yeah, Sogo actually uses this to create a new plan, and here's the plan. Gates will go and retrieve the ride watches, while Sogo deals with Hayase 2018. And before I get back to the plan, well, this is part of the plan really. Gates goes to retrieve the ride watches so that he can go back to 2012 and finish off the monster there, while Sogo deals with Hayase in the present. And it starts off with setting up that the theater manager is at the hospital and Hayase shows up there to attack him. And as soon as he breaks in, Sogo hides on a hospital head, covering himself. He whips off the blanket, surprising him, and just kicks him. As that I thought was cool. He's prepared and ready. Then just goes, surprise, motherfucker, and kicks him. There are two kicking moments that are awesome in this episode. That's the first one. The second one is when Sogo transforms into Zi-O, and while fighting another wizard, he gets his balance by holding onto a wall and just donkey kicks him.
So that's a thing. Did you just spin kick him? I know.
So, Sogo makes use of the temporary defeats of another riders to give Kyosuke, he uses the temporary defeat of another wizard to give Kyosuke his memory back so Gates could receive the ride watches. Although that resolves in Beast fighting Gates. But I'm gonna be honest right now, since it's Beast, I'm pretty sure Gates should have no problem taking him. Hey, settle down. Settle down. I said what I said. If you like Kamen Rider Beast, good for you. Kyosuke does get his memory back and entrusts Gates with the Wizard Ride Watch. He doesn't get the Beast Ride Watch, literally because Beast just said, no, mine. And that alone, for as funny as I found it to be, it made me curious and anxious to see like a Kamen Rider Beast armor to be done. I would want to see how that looks, because I just think that would be amazing. I just think that would be interesting, because I'll say this off the jump right now. I do like Beast's suit. It is a good looking suit because it's black, gold, and the motif is a lion. I'm not going to deny that. And to see a secondary rider form in this show wouldn't be all that bad, since if you've seen the scans by now, then you know we're getting a Kamen Rider mock ride watch. But now that I'm done getting off topic, Sogo stays in 2018 to handle the highest say now, while Gates goes back to the past to where we see the debut of, I want to look this up just so I can look at it more. Kamen Rider Gates Wizard Armor. Now this suit is amazing, and I'm still pulling it up just so I can look at it more. And still, this suit looks, it still looks amazing. I want to see it in full view. Yes, it's in full. Oh, come on, laptop. Okay, yeah, I see it in full view. Kamen Rider Gates Wizard Armor. And I love this form. I love the cloak. I love that he has a cloak. I love how the chest is. He has that dragon design on it. The shoulders don't even bother me anymore on this form. And I love how the visor is. And oh my god, it captures all of the details of flame styles. But the one thing I immediately question though, and for once it's not the shoulders, it's the scripture going down his back. If it's supposed to be like a cantation of spells, alright then, but still, that just looks so standoffish, because those are actually connected onto his back. He moves with those on. Like, it's basically rabbit form again this year. And so I just think that's a little unnecessary. It would be fine if this cantation in the back was like CGI and he needed to fly and Rider kick down. That would be great. But besides that, I freaking love this suit. It's so beautiful. I love the chest, the cloak. He gets that cloak down at the bottom. Ugh. It is so sweet. He doesn't get any of Wizard's weapons in this form. He still has his axe. And the thing that Wizard does in his final form, Infinity Style, where he has his battle axe and he can make it grow big and do a finisher there, Gates can do that in this form. It is amazing. I freaking love it so much. Now, with all that said, so now I'm right. Back to where I was. With all that said, both Zi-O and Gates deal with another wizard. But we all clearly know that Gates is the one putting the brakes on him because we know that the only way to defeat another wizard is to go back to 2012 when the show came out and defeat him there. So Sogo is more or less just beating the sense into him so that he can realize his own mistakes. And I might as well just say this about Sogo now. I'm starting to like him. No, seriously, I am starting to like him. I know it's episode 8, but I like his competence. And frankly, I like how much of a smartass he can be when he's trying to prove a point or get something his way. It's so amusing because we're seeing him develop now. And Zi-O is a Victims of the Week show. This type of style works for Sogo's development, and I'll say it at that. Well, I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean. Anyway, so another wizard. And while another wizard is defeated, Sogo does something special by calling Gates in the past and putting Hayase of 2012 on the phone with Hayase of 2018 so they can talk to each other and basically give him a good confidence boost to tell the daughter how he really feels, which by now would be most likely a clean slate since another wizard's been defeated. All that stuff about the magic Hayase and whatnot, it's probably been erased. So, yeah, you have a good shot now. And we end this episode and with another wizard defeated. Tsukomi wakes up, and that is today's episode. Overall, this episode was pretty good. It was enjoyable. Like what I said, Gates is what brings down the first half of this episode for me. But this was still enjoyable. Sogo's plan to reach out to Hayase was excellent and made brilliant use of what they already know about the process of fighting another riders. And Kamen Rider Beast's cameo, it's not bad either. It's fine for how it was, maybe because we didn't have a lot of time to stick with him since this episode created a stake with Tsukomi being unconscious. Most shows would have just had that on the side and make a lot more time for, say, the Victim of the Week that doesn't matter, or the guest star that will only help out more for development for the episode to go on next time. But still, his cameo was pretty fine. How he was, it wasn't annoying. And I liked it. And just to shine some light on him more, I like the hat that he's wearing. He clearly got a haircut, and fine. That's totally fine since his hair cut back then was a bit rambunctious. That's fine. And if anyone's asking me right now, or we'll have this question later, but maybe not, if I've seen the 8.5 episode, yes I have. Was it hilarious? Yes. And I also geeked out about this earlier, saying that my personal fan theory has been confirmed. That when they hand out the blank ride watches, they turn into the actual Kamen Rider ride watches. Although that was most likely confirmed in episode 2, but I still took joy in that because it was my personal thought. I thought, okay, so that's how they're going to do it, and I was right. Although that means I would have been right for like a while now, but people just pointed that out. But either way, I'm happy. It's something that I thought yeah. But anyway, that is today's episode. Did you guys like this episode? Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And that's about it for today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the Kamen Rider Blackman. In 2 months, I will be doing my first 100 days YouTube channel. If there's anything you would like to see me do, leave a comment down below. I already have something in mind, but if there's anything else you want me to do for that video, please tell me, hit me up. And so, that's about it. Peace.